Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I pay homage to my teacher, Lukuswami Nwanse, who teaches me the Supreme Buddha's Dhamma. Sadhu, sadhu. Okay, so now we are going to first watch a movie. Do you like?
Can I ask you a question, Bhante?
Do you have questions?
I have one question, Bhante.
Okay, so then let's ask about
I can wait. I can wait.
Okay, so then you can wait. Let's go to the movie. So then after the movie, you will have more questions, so we can discuss.
Okay.
Can everybody see the screen? I shared the screen. Can everybody see?
Yes, Bhante.
Yes,
Yes,
Bhante.
Bhante.
Yes, Bhante.
Okay, so listen, paying very good attention and try to learn a lesson. It's very different from an ordinary movie, which arouse defilements and negative qualities in a person's mind. So this is something special.
Punna was a laborer for Sumana, who was a rich man in Sawati. Punna worked very hard, and even when others took breaks and days off, he would diligently continue his work. He felt that working was good because he was doing something valuable with his time. One day, Punna saw the Venerable Sariputta walking near the field where he was working. He thought, "How lucky am I that I get to see the Buddha's chief disciple? But alas, I have no food nor items of value to offer." However, Punna was determined to not let this opportunity pass. He invited the Thera, or venerable monk, to sit down, and offered him a toothpick and water to wash his mouth. The Venerable Sariputta understood Punna's intention and took the time to sit down and pick his teeth and then wash his mouth. He did this so that Punna would receive full merit for his good intention and actions. After finishing, the Thera left. Punna was filled with joy at his great luck. He then thought of his wife, who he assumed was traveling to bring him his daily meal. He wished that she would get to meet Sariputta along the way, and that she would offer Punna's meal to Sariputta in order for her to make merit. Then, Punna went back to work. Along the road, the Venerable Sariputta saw Punna's wife. He waited and stood off to the side. Punna's wife thought, "Wow, can it be? Is that really one of the Buddha's disciples?" It is truly amazing that I have this opportunity. On days that I have something to offer, I do not see anyone worthy to offer it to. On days that I see those who are worthy, I sadly have nothing to offer. But today, I have a hot meal and am in front of one who is worthy of my dana, my donation. She knelt down and begged the Tera to receive her offering. He accepted, sat down, and ate the meal. After he finished, she requested, "With the merits I have gained from my offering, may my good wishes come true." The Venerable Sariputta then said, "Yes, I too wish for your good wishes to come true." And with that, the Venerable Sariputta returned to the temple. Punna's wife, however, rushed home to cook a new meal for her husband. She thought, "He must be so hungry now. I must do whatever I can to quickly make a meal and bring it to him." By dusk, Punna had been working all day. He was truly exhausted. Not only that, he had not eaten anything all day. He wondered where his wife was. Punna sat down against a tree to rest his body. As Punna's wife ran to him, she said, "My husband, please don't be angry with me. I saw one of the Buddha's disciples and decided to offer the food I made for you to him in order to create merit. Please do not be mad at me." Punna said, "My love, how could I be mad at you? That was exactly what I wished that you would do." Punna gratefully ate the food his wife made and laid his head on her lap to rest. Punna's wife looked over into the field and saw a bright light. She asked Punna what it was. He thought he must be exhausted from all the work, because when he looked, he too saw a bright light coming from the center of the field where he had been working all day. When they went over and looked, there was gold all over the ground. Punna and his wife conferred and decided that they were poor people. They did not need this much gold. This much gold would be better in the hands of a king. Punna and his wife gathered a sample of the gold and brought it as an offering to the king. They told him what happened and where the gold was. The king, respecting their offering, sent some soldiers to go gather the gold from the field. As they were gathering the gold, the soldiers said, "Wow, our king's merit is great." However, when they said that, all the gold in the cart turned to coal. They rushed back and told the king what had happened. He asked them, "What did you say before the gold turned to coal?" The men said, "We were praising your merit." The king thought about it and told them, "This time, go back and say, 'Wow, Punna's merit is so great.'" The soldiers did what they were told, and when they said, "Wow, Punna's merit is so great," the coal turned back into gold. The king decided that it would be improper for him to take the gold that obviously resulted from Punna and his wife's meritorious deeds. He gave them all the gold, and additionally gave them land and a large estate. Punna now became a wealthy man in Sawati. Punna decided to celebrate his newfound wealth and status by inviting the Buddha and his monks to take their meals at the new house for 7 days. The Buddha accepted, and Punna, his wife, and their young daughter Uttara personally attended to the offerings. At the conclusion of the 7 days of offerings, the Buddha gave a sermon to Punna, his wife, and little Uttara. At the end of the sermon, after internalizing and reflecting on the Buddha's teachings, all three became Sotapannas, stream enterers.
If you like it, say sadhu.
Sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
That was a true story. Did you see the faith of the lay disciples of the Buddha? Their faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha.
Yes, Bhante.
Some of the donors in the time of the Buddha experienced the results of their dana in this very life. Punna was one of them. And did you see the equal faith in the husband and the wife? That's called, in the Dhamma, it's called Samasaddha, equal faith, which leads to a peaceful marriage life. Equal Shraddha, equal faith. Samasila, equal virtue among husband and the wife. Equal chaga, samachaga, equal generosity. And samapanya, equal wisdom. The 4 qualities that lead to a happy marriage life. Not the factors that we think as the factors of a happy marriage life. Those are the factors recognized by the Buddha, realized by the Buddha as factors for a happy marriage life, peaceful marriage life. So they were very fortunate, weren't they? And did you see all of the 3 attained the first stage of enlightenment?
Yes, Bhante.
Very fortunate family, yeah? Very rare. So that is one of the background stories of Vimanavattu. Stories of heavenly mansions is in the Khuddaka Nikaya. Vimanavattu is in the Khuddaka Nikaya, one of the Pali canons. And there is a story there. It's a secret. I'll tell you what the story is. And this is the background. This is only a part of the background story of that Vimanavattu story. Okay, so now we go to the reading today.
My question, Bhante,
Okay, you can ask.
it kind of ties into the movie too, but just something that I noticed in the recollection on the Buddha, it kind of jumped out at me, is that he said, or it said he acted for the benefit of himself and others, and that seems like a startling statement. I don't know, maybe to the Western mind or something like that, because I think the reaction or a tendency is normally to hide half of that, to hide the fact that you're acting for the benefit of yourself, and to enhance the idea that you're acting for the benefit of others. So, but it seems like a simple reality, an honest reality, but it also seems kind of
Yeah,
radical
so
for a
acting
Western
for the
mind.
benefit, Buddha acted for the benefit of himself means he first escaped from suffering. He first escaped from all the bad worlds. He first escaped from rebirth. So in order to help others, as an enlightened one, that extraordinary being first must escape from all the suffering. Then he can teach others. So that is why Buddha said the Buddha acted for the benefit of himself and the benefit of others. So it's not only for the Buddha. When we do actions, when we say things, when we think thoughts, Buddha teaches, we should do a reflection. What is the reflection? Okay, now I am going to do this, or I am going to say this, I am going to think this. Whether this is leading to the benefit of myself and benefit of others. That is the criteria. We have to use that criteria every time in our life. When we do something, when we say something, when we think something. Buddha teaches this is the criteria we should use. Whether this is going to benefit myself and others. Whether this is not going to harm myself and others. We have to do that experiment, like investigation first before we do something, or before we say something, before we think something. So it's not only for the life of the Buddha, it's for every one of us. Did you see that criteria? Okay, whether this action is going to benefit me and others. Whether this action is not going to harm myself and others. Then only we decide to do it, to say it, or to think about it.
I guess it's like a middle way, because I mean the tendency, or a typical tendency, is just to think about, is it going to help me? Is it going to, one way, is it going to help me? Is it going to help me? Or another way you also see, is it going to help others? Is it going to help others? Right? You see both extremes.
It should be it should be the both.
Yeah.
Always should be the both.
Yeah, well, that's
you understand it?
Yeah, no, I understand it. Yeah, but it's just not typical.
Sometimes people think, okay, so this is going to benefit others. They
Right.
completely forget about themselves.
Right, exactly.
Right? They put themselves in danger and try to help others. Buddha didn't encourage that.
Well, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or sometimes, like we can say, like some people, they think about their own benefit and completely forget about others' happiness. Right?
Right.
That Buddha never encouraged that.
Interesting. Okay, thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
Bhante, I have a question.
Okay.
Actually, it's a continuation.
Do you like to anybody likes to comment on the movie? Nobody likes to comment.
Yes, I am. I'm actually talking about the movie. Well, it's in continuation with Rob's, asking the question about we really want to share, or to help others as well, okay, to understand. Now, reflecting on the movie, definitely.
Did you cry? Did you cry watching the movie?
The tears inside the heart. Bhante, actually is we believe in Buddha, and we believe the story is true, okay? But if we want to share the story to other people, to convince them that good intentions, good actions would give a good consequence of the good karma, showing them the story, then they would say, oh, most people are kind of, they deal with science, scientific explanations. They would say, how can gold turn into coal and coal turn to gold at an instant with a change of intention? Okay. Now we believe Buddha did this. Okay. But then how can we explain to them
no, just I need to
in
correct something.
scientific
Buddha
way?
didn't do anything there. Is the is the result of their own good karma. They just gave the honor to Sariputta Bhante.
Okay.
It's just a natural happening. It's a result of the karma.
So my question is, if we were to share this story to them and to help them understand in a scientific way, so can we explain that this is kind of the perception, or it's a kind of a special or an extra
No, just say
perception
this is a true
that there's a
story.
change?
If you believe it, believe it. If you don't believe it, don't believe it. Simple.
Oh, just like that?
Yeah, because there are people, we cannot say that everybody like rejects it or don't like doesn't take it seriously. We cannot say like that. There are lots of people out there. They believe in things that they cannot prove in the modern science, or they cannot see it with the naked eye. They still believe in so many invisible things. They still believe in good karma, bad karma. There are so many people. Yes, so it's
What
just
about
up to them.
what
But
about
you can always try.
what about taking it as a metaphor, Bhante, as a
No,
metaphor?
it's always we
It's
should
not
take it as a true story.
as if
Yeah.
it is a true story. Okay, thank
Yeah.
you, Bhante.
Even though there are like we don't need to worry about it, because some people today don't believe in karma. Maybe there are people, they don't believe in karma today. They don't believe in psychic powers of the enlightened beings today. They don't believe in the results of karma today, but who knows? They will start believing from tomorrow. They will start changing their views and opinions from tomorrow. That always happens.
Yes. And most people want to see, the result of what they did at an instant. The gratification. For example, they said, oh, they did a good deed a while ago, so they expect sooner they can get a good consequence. But then, it doesn't happen this way, right?
Yeah, the results of karma doesn't obey your
desire.
wishes or doesn't follow your orders. Result of karma follows the natural law of the world.
Okay, thank you.
The people will understand these things gradually. Now I like to give you an opportunity to read a very short story. Then we will go to the deep Dhamma.
Mm.
Who is going to read?
I can read, Bhante.
Okay, you can start.
Petavatu 2.4 Nadana Sutta. Thank you for the opportunity, Bhante. The ghost Nadana, harsh speech and evil actions only brings negative results. Nadana Sena sees a ghost and questions. Nadana Sena, you are very dark and ugly with red eyes and black teeth. You look very nasty. I don't think that you're a human. Nanda Ghost. Oh Nandasena, I am Nanda. I was your wife in the human world. Since I did lots of evil things, I was born in the ghost world. Nandasena, what bad things did you do by body, speech, and mind, or to be in order to be reborn in the ghost world? Nanda, when I lived with you in the human world, I was very cruel to you by speaking harshly. I did not respect you at all. That is why I was reborn in the ghost world. Nandasena, here I will give you my cloak to wear, and then we can go back home. You can have beautiful clothes, food, and drink there. Also, you can see your sons and daughters-in-law. Nanda, sadly, I cannot receive anything that is given directly by your hands, but you can help me by giving alms to virtuous monks who know the Dhamma well and are free from passion. Share the merit that you gain with me, and then I will be happy with all the comforts in the world.
Sadhu, sadhu. We just continue reading.
Thank
Another
you.
Kalyanamita to continue reading.
Can I read, Bhante?
Okay.
Yeah. Nandasena agreed and offered food, drink, shelter, robes, umbrellas, flowers, and incense to virtuous monks and shared the merit he collected with the ghost Nanda. The result of this donation immediately took effect in the form of food, drink, and clothing for the ghost. She became pure, wearing the cleanest and finest clothes with jewelry, and then approached Nandasena. Nandasena, who are you? With heavenly beauty shining in all directions like a star. Why are you so beautiful? What merit have you collected when you were human? Nanda, oh Nandasena, I am Nanda. I was your wife in the human world. Since I did lots of evil things, I was reborn in the ghost world. But now through the gift given by you, I am very happy and do not fear anything. I bless you. May you live long and happily with your relatives. Nandasena, yes, my dear, one should practice the Dhamma and be generous by giving alms. The person who does this will be reborn in heaven where there is no sorrow.
Sadhu, sadhu. We rejoice in your reading. So that is from the Petavattu, the Khuddaka Nikaya. Stories of ghosts. That's a sad story about a wife, unfortunate wife, eh? Don't be unfortunate wife, be a fortunate wife. Husband was very lucky, faithful, virtuous, generous, and all with all the good qualities, right? But she did not follow her husband's path. As a result, ended up in ghost world. So like that, you know, even though we live in as a one family, when we die, we will go to different places. And now still he wants to help her, right? He was pity on her and wanted to invite her to go back to the same house. But unfortunately, she's a ghost, and the only way he could help her was by giving dana to the Sangha and share merit with her. And he did that. We can see the good qualities of that husband. He was, and it said that the wife insulted him, you know, spoke harshly to him, but still he was patient, he was practicing good qualities, he was practicing the Dhamma, he was patient, he didn't get angry at her. I think very good husband. If you like to learn like about good husbands, good wives, you can read more stories about in the stories of heavenly mansions and ghosts, Petavattu, Vimanavattu, and also suttas. You can read suttas. There are beautiful stories about good husbands, good wives. Question, Ray.
But so to give merit like that, do you have to give the merit to, like, if say I'm somewhere and I'm not near a Buddha statue or anything, can I just think of that to offer it to the Buddha and the Sangha? And does that, before I eat my meal, does that, and if you forget, can you think of it later and offer it later, or does it have to be offered right at the time of eating?
Yes, normally we offer before 12 because that's the normally proper time for the dana. before 12 noon. If you offer some food and curry, if you offer some drinks, fruit juice, things like that, not the solid foods you can offer after 12 noon. And yeah, you can still share merit by offering food to the Buddha statue, recollecting the Buddha and the qualities of the Buddha and the Sangha, and share merit with different relatives. It doesn't do any harm to yourself because you collect merit anyway. Yes, Sangha is very rare in the world. Sometimes people live in some countries, in some areas, you can hardly see a monk.
So, Bante, I have a question on offering food and clothes to the deceased relatives. So, in India, especially the culture is in New Moon. Especially my family, they offer food and clothes, and we do a little chanting and everything we offer to the deceased relatives. So we cannot offer like this directly to the deceased relatives. We have to always give it through the monks and share the merits like that.
So directly offer to whom?
Deceased relatives.
No, we cannot. Did you try?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I've been doing it every day. Actually, I offer food every day before I eat.
No, I mean, like, did you try to offer your departed relatives directly?
No, I cannot see. I just believe that it's.
That's the thing. You
they are
cannot
receiving
see.
it.
You cannot see. No, they cannot. We cannot give it by hand. Hand to their hand. No, that's why Buddha said he opened the path. He saw the correct way to do it. It's just by offering the dana to the Mahasangha, the members of the Sangha, and then share merit with departed relatives.